Every room in my house was constructed for a specific purpose.
I live in the American Gardens building on West 81st Street, on the 11th floor. I believe in taking care of myself, in a balanced diet, and a rigorous exercise routine. In the morning, if my face is a little puffy, I'll put on an ice pack while doing my stomach crunches. I can do 1,000 now. After I remove the ice pack, I use a deep pore cleanser lotion. In the shower, I use a water-activated gel cleanser.
The Girl Scout convention, we don't want any of your cookies.
There is an idea of a Patrick Bateman, some kind of abstraction, but there is no real me. And though I can hide my cold gaze, and you can shake my hand and feel flesh gripping yours, and maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable, I simply am not there.
Where'd you move here from? Dumbsville?
Yo, I hit the jeweler, got some goals. I sold a little weed, but I could never sell my soul. And when I'm in LA, you find me out in Lil Smoke. Come a vocal with my ramen, I'ma need another bowl. Let's go.
Hey guys, I'm Fred Figglehorn. I'm just going to apologize in advance for what I'm about to do.
Well, shit. Due to the events of my Chip and Dale review, my roof is now broken. And god damn it, I have lore again now, don't I? It's not even fun lore, it's just roof renovation. That costs me money. Oh god damn it, come on, I couldn't even foreshadow that one. Ah! How are these PNG tubers getting into my house?
Dumbsville, listen.
Oh hey, youtube.com/Fushia Butter. Do you look different?
Well, yeah, new stills.
Did you get new socks?
Yes, Dumbsville, that's exactly what happened.
Will, you crashed through my roof and put me into more home repair debt. You want to review Fred 3? Cause I sure don't, but I need the money.
Do I get any money?
You're the one who broke my roof. But you can have this Vacation Bible School promo in an MP4 file. I found it on the side of the road.
I don't want that.
So Fred 3, let's just fucking get into it.
So our film opens with him.
Well, first things first, we gotta analyze the copyright-free room. We got the lava lamp, the jack-off Kleenex, and even some good old Ayn Rand.
Huh. I didn't take Fred for a reader. Anyways, so Fred wakes up and...
Today is my favorite day.
They really wanted these suicidal thoughts early, didn't they?
Why does Fred feel the need to tear off his clothes and wear a sequenced outfit underneath? Is there something Fred isn't telling us?
Look what's written under my toupee.
Well, there's something he didn't tell us. He's fucking bald.
So Fred's mom comes in and...
You know how I feel about opening musical numbers. You don't need some flashy song and dance to get people to like you, Fred.
How the fuck did they manage to make her worse?
So if you couldn't tell, school is ending for Fred. And if you also couldn't tell, this song number is horribly choreographed. It's probably the worst choreographed song number I've ever seen in my life. They all just don't want to be there.
I'd be too, if I were in camp, fucking Fred.
Go back to whatever cruel meatloaf world you came from! Die! 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 There's something inside you.
But it turns out the song number was in Fred's head, and everyone actually hates him. A classic Fred.
Hey, look, it's Kevin, and he still looks white as fuck. So did Fred lose all of his falsely accusing a teacher of being a pedophile and making him move out of town street cred? Wait a minute, holy shit. Dumsy, we gotta redo that video so we can add a Morbius joke.
Anyways, Fred is hyped for summer camp and tells Bertha all about it.
I still haven't forgiven them for removing Jeanette McCurdy.
I'm pretty sure she left acting entirely at this point.
Not in my heart.
Anyways, Fred is getting ready for Camp Superior, which is apparently the best summer camp in the galaxy. Now, I may be fucking old, but isn't summer camp a strictly middle school and under thing?
With that logic, Fred would be a counselor. Oh, and there's a funny cartoon sound effect.
Monkey butlers? Monkey butlers?
Did you edit this movie?
So anyways, summer camp.
Can you believe I'm actually going to Camp Superior?
Can you believe it, guys?
Yeah, really moving up in the world.
However, it turns out Fred's mom couldn't afford Camp Superior.
How comedic. You can almost consider it funny.
Oh, you think that's funny? Guess what Fred's new camp he's actually going to is called?
Enlighten me.
It's called, I'm not joking here, Camp I Wanna Pee-Pee.
Camp, I want a pee-pee.
Now, what I should be pulling up?
Camp, I want a pee-pee.
I want a pee-pee?
Camp, I want a pee-pee.
Well, that makes sense. How else are we supposed to figure out that the camp is a bad camp? I'm a stupid 10-year-old. I don't know anything.
What's the difference? Camp is camp, right?
How the fuck does her acting get worse? And why the fuck is she sunbathing in her living room? Why the fuck is Fred dying? Not that I'm complaining, of course. Why is he dying?
Man, I'm so glad these Family Man cutaway gags came back. This time on the budget of 2 whole Chipotle burritos.
So Fred starts screaming again, just like me internally, all the time. Fred's mom keeps trying to, act, as suddenly the comedically shitty-looking bus pulls up. That guy looks like he touches children.
So Fred does one long, funny scream for an unbearable amount of
I'm
time.
just gonna apologize in advance for what I'm about to do.
This scream lasts for over 30 seconds.
At this point, I would choke him out and take the felony.
And the funny part is that doing Fred clearly shot Lucas's voice. You can hear his voice straining, dude. So not only is the scene unbearable, but it's also kind of underwhelming.
Impressive.
Fred then arrives at the camp and meets a washed-up Mr. Incredible, who introduces everyone to Camp I Wanna Pee-Pee, which is apparently an old Native American term, and it means...
Blessed ray of sunshine. So let me be the first to give you all the official camp greeting. I want to pee-pee on you. I want to pee-pee on all of you.
These movies make the pedophile jokes way too easy. So Fred eats shitty food at the shitty cafeteria, then it turns out the shitty bus driver is also a shitty cook.
I'm also the counselor, trail guide, lifeguard.
And I'm a convicted felon.
Fred then meets a bunch of new friends who are like way younger than him. We meet this living nerd emoji, this fat guy who never talks, and the Asian girl who always eats.
So the scrawny Asian girl is always eating, but the fat kid doesn't. Something's not right here.
Wow, Fred, breaking gender norms once again. Oh, and there's one more character.
Last but not least, there's Dig.
Wait, his name is Dick?
Dig, you deaf moron. Wait, they called the black kid Dig? They called him Dig?
Why do they call you Dig?
Because of their goals.
Holy shit, that is incredibly fucked up.
You gotta be ashamed of yourself. Real talk, you gotta be ashamed of yourself. All as you is.
Also, it's revealed that this camp nurse, what are those particle effects? Does this movie have DLSS set to ultra performance mode?
Jesus Christ, her forehead looks like the moon.
Damn, look at my fucking forehead.
This is followed by a burp noise.
This is followed by a fart noise. They're just checking off dumb shit at this point.
Fred then meets up with Mr. Incredible again, who has a mosquito bite, and that's the whole joke.
But amongst the gross-out humor, it's revealed that their camp is participating in the summer game, which is where people in different summer camps compete against each other.
Wow, I wonder if Fred would win that. That would be amazing if he did.
Amazing, and totally not arbitrary.
How long have these games been going on?
69 years.
Holy shit, funny number, funny number, funny number, funny
My
number.
grandfather had a prophecy that one day a very special boy would come to this camp and lead us to victory.
Special is certainly not incorrect.
That special young boy is you.
Me?
No, not you. I said Hugh. I said Hugh Thompson over there.
Oh, he didn't mean you, he meant Hugh, because those two words sound similar. It's a bait and switch.
You know, if your joke wasn't funny when you didn't have to explain it, it most likely means it won't be funny when you explain
So
it.
Fred goes to the woods and meets a scary man and runs away screaming because that's funny. But it turns out the scary guy just wants to give him a map, which is funny because it's a bait and switch.
They told the same joke structure twice in a row. Fred then bumps into the pedophile bus driver guy, and... What is happening?
Of course, when I get bumped into, I reenact sleeping dogs as well.
Fred has disturbed the pedophile's ritual, and now he will pay the price.
There's some crazy old guy trying to get me.
Don't worry about it. That's just Scary Gary, the maintenance man.
You get it? Because he's old and gross and scary. And scary rhymes with Gary.
I need my love.
And old people are stinky.
But it turns out the pedophile guy wants to date the nurse. Wait, how old is she?
Good question. Cut up on her head and check your carbon dating.
And when I say dating, I mean I haven't actually talked to her yet.
Fred then makes it into his cabin, which is, like everything else in the camp, a pile of shit.
I'd like to know this movie has a grand total of 2 jokes.
Fred then goes to the bathroom only for...
Shrek.
Thanks, Shrek. You're welcome, laddie.
If you have to use it at night, bring a buddy. A couple years ago, one of the campers had a little accident.
He was molested. Okay, you edited these. It's not up for debate anymore.
I can sue for libel.
So Fred whines about how bad this place is and plans on escaping. Pretty sure he won't grow to like it or anything by the end of the film. That would be just predictable, which these movies totally aren't.
That night, Fred attempts to dig out of camp I Wanna Kill Myself. Then get an imagination scene where he crawls into a desolate area. But he gets caught by...
Kill him. Scott, kill him. Fucking kill him.
You know what we do to kids who try to escape from Camp I Wanna Pee-Pee?
We molest them.
Fred then imagines the kids eating him in the food.
Wow, the cannibalist angle of this film certainly proves for an interesting artistic direction.
Fred then wakes up in his bed in his normal room.
Oh, Mom, I had the most horrible nightmare.
With a normal voice?
Also, I had this weird, sped-up chipmunk voice that got really annoying after a while.
Oh, golly, I love self-aware humor where it points out the flaws without actually fixing them.
Looks like Fred finally learned the Chippendale Rescue Ranger style of comedy.
You can't hurt my feelings if I'm in on the joke.
So they did an imagination gag, followed by another imagination gag. Somehow that's the most creative thing they've done in this movie.
Fred then actually wakes up, sad and lonely. But in his lowest moment, John Cena hops out of a fridge and murders Fred.
I'm shocked they can still afford him. The film already looks noticeably cheaper than the first two.
The producers were clearly insistent on keeping John Cena in.
Well, this is the only scene he appears in before fucking up entirely. So they could afford him, just not for any significant amount of time.
The kids from earlier then approach Fred having a nervous breakdown. They comfort him before it's revealed that Fred touched poison ivy.
Another gross out gag. Hysterical.
Fred meets the nurse who gives him toothpaste for his poison ivy. This leads to a hilarious interaction where Fred says he needs aloe, but the nurse, who is German apparently, thinks he's saying hello.
Hello! We've met many times.
Did they hire this actress from Pornhub?
We then cut to a ghost story scene, which leads into another imagination scene, which looks like it was shot on the camera they used to film demo reel.
And in the story, Fred imagines a crocabera moose, while a guy in a shitty costume sneaks up behind him and jump scares him. Five Nights at Freddy's.
But then apparently it turns out it's a real creature in the real world? What?
So Fred tries to kill it, but it's just the pedophile guy in a costume. Another bait and switch. I'm honestly impressed at how they combine their two jokes in these different ways. It's like the most unpredictable, predictable thing.
Impressive. Very nice.
Fred then leaves the nurse's room after tending to the bus pedo, but not before seeing everyone bury what he thinks is a dead body.
Fuck that shit though. And cut to Fred writing a letter to his mom. He hears about this thing called the rat hole and about a mysterious illness going around. And the counselor's putting perk 30s in the food.
We get more unfunny gags, including the thinking mustache.
Time to put on my thinking mustache. All right,
Just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going.
So Fred discovers something. I couldn't tell you what it is though, because honestly it's all white noise after Fred starts screaming.
Fred then explains his plan to find some camp conspiracy.
Oh my god, look at that prop.
The actors aren't even frozen in editing. They're just standing still. They're moving in the shot.
And for some reason, Fred also thinks the counselor is a rat creature?
Just like his teacher was a vampire pedophile. 'Cause that went well for him, didn't it?
Well, actually it did, until they just forgot about it the first second this movie began.
Fred then starts eating grass. And I won't win any awards for saying this, but I think he has brain damage.
You know, if Fred can touch grass, then what's the average Twitter user's excuse?
Fred then eats poison berries and gets fucking high, but why would we want to see
but
this?
Then the crocabera moose comes out and...
You know what I do when I'm not feeling very good?
What's that?
I rap. No! You want to rap with me?
You know, there really aren't enough ways to say I want to fucking off myself.
My name is Fred. I'm sick in the head.
Fred then vomits because of gross out humor, and then meandering happens.
Go on a date with me?
No goat meat.
Is the joke that she's foreign? The joke is so unfunny. I think my brain is preventing me from getting it. All the while, the kids plan on taking Fred to the rat hole.
Show Fred what Camp I Want to Pee-Pee is all about.
Oh no, they're gonna piss in his
So
mouth.
they kidnap Fred, and it turns out the rat hole is actually a wickedly awesome man cave for epic and based kids. Complete with Christmas lights, a soda shooting machine, and rock band controllers with no visible console or TV. So in other words, the Fred 2 plot is just repeated, where Fred thinks bad things are happening to him, but turns out it's just his imagination.
Yeah, at least the first film has a somewhat adventurous plot, and the second one has another plot, but this movie feels like it doesn't even know what a plot is. It feels like it's going through whatever motions Fred 2 has, only instead of vampires, it's a goddamn summer camp.
What about the blue pills I saw Floyd and Murray planting into the gruel?
Holy shit, the editing is awful. Was the fade effect done in Windows Movie Maker?
What about all the kids getting sick around camp?
Have you seen Oksana?
They're literally cutting off the character's dialogue. What is this shit? Did you edit this, Dumbsville?
You know, Butters, it's time I came clean. I didn't edit any of this. I'm sorry I led you on for so long, but...
You know I was joking, right?
So then there's some fireworks and there's a toilet joke.
Seriously?
Wow, that is some shit acting.
This movie is shit acting.
But suddenly, Kevin comes out, and turns out he's at Camp Superior, which is the camp Fred wanted to go to at the beginning of the movie! And they're competing against each other, oh no!
And the worst part, they try cracking jokes. I'm gonna kill myself. So the summer camp games begin, and I can't wait to not laugh during this scene's many jokes.
Oh, and also the summer camp games? Yeah, only 2 camps are competing. I Want a PP and Camp Superior.
Everyone knows there's only 2 summer camps in the whole world.
Welcome to the 70th annual summer camp game,
where we pit a rich white city against an impoverished neighborhood. First up is the archery contest, and Hugh, the strong big man in the camp's golden calf, is up to bat. So Fred grabs him a javelin.
This would usually be the moment where I accidentally do something that screws everything up.
Fred, stop.
Here you go, Hugh.
Oh, wow. Who would have guessed? Fred screwed everything up. It's so not predictable.
But Butters, they made a self-aware joke about it, and you can't hurt their feelings if they're in on the joke.
You can't hurt my feelings if I'm in on the joke.
So Fred fucks everything up because this film ran out of other jokes.
Seriously?
That has to be the unfunniest reoccurring joke in the universe. So Camp Superior is winning at every game, and they end up winning the first day by a landslide. Oh no.
This causes I Wanna PP's morale to nosedive. So Fred tries cheering them up. Sadly, it's Fred trying to cheer them up.
Come on, you guys aren't even gonna laugh at a burp. It's the second funniest sound the human body can make.
That sounds like something the writing team for Fred 3 would say.
But then Fred convinces everyone to be the best at being the worst.
We're the best at being the worst.
And just like that, the team's morale is boosted back up. Remember, kids, always settle for mediocrity.
Just resort to war crimes and you'll win.
And believe it or not, this ends up working, with them winning the very next day.
Furthermore, and conveniently, they're doing competitions that involve gross-out humor. Also, there's a romance subplot between the silent kid and the eating disorder girl. This is established 2/3 into the movie.
We also see Fred eating cheese fries with a monkey butler. Yeah, this is definitely a Fred movie.
And naturally, he wins. However, there is one more competition.
Songwriting competition.
My pipes be a slammin'.
Yeah, they be slamming.
Slamming these nuts down your throat.
So the competition begins.
I love to rap, rappity rap.
Yep, that is definitely a white rapper.
Catch you in a trap, give you a big slap.
Did he just say get yo bitch slap?
Wow, they were right. This new Jack Harlow really is trash.
God, it's the stock cheering sound effect.
You know, there's a real dissonance between the actual sound and the actual enthusiasm of the crowd.
That was off the hizzy!
Okay, it's been confirmed. This is absolutely white.
Oh, and there's a really funny joke in this scene, too. So they announced that Simon Cowell is a celebrity guest, but it turns out it's some random guy who's also named Simon Cowell.
Pop culture bait and switch. Amazing comedy.
Fred then talks to Kevin and is all like,
It's funny, I thought for sure you'd have some sort of evil plan up your sleeve to ruin my whole entire song.
But it turns out Kevin has a gruel blaster that will embarrass him, even though that would disqualify him.
But thankfully, this film made a joke about how derivative this is, meaning it's actually a metafictional masterpiece that's in on the joke.
You can't hurt my feelings if I'm...
Ignoring all that, Fred starts to sing the loser song.
This is for the losers, sing it up.
It's really shit.
Man, they're really struggling to keep up with this goofy-aw beat. They all win, and that's about it.
Oh, and the gruel machine malfunctions and strips Kevin naked for some reason.
But at long last, summer camp ends, and Fred is separated from his new friends. However, he is content knowing that he spent his summer making beautiful memories out of the worst of situations. And I'm content knowing this shit is over. So that was Fred 3. I fucking hated it. What did you think, Butters?
I think I want to vomit then stick a 12 gauge in my mouth. This is just bad. I think this might be one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen. I've seen some pretty bad movies. This makes the Ghostbusters reboot look good. That's really hard to do.
Yeah, I agree with those lines you sent me over Discord, Butters. Fred 3 is genuinely one of the worst movies ever made, and easily the worst in the whole trilogy. The first two films at least had some redeeming qualities, like one for each movie. But this movie is just a painful, unfunny joke after painful, unfunny joke. The characters are all shit, and not memorable in the slightest. They're just comedic archetypes where their entire personalities are just one single joke. And not to mention, the story feels like two generic plots fused together, going from a conspiracy movie to a sports movie. It feels like everyone on the Fred 3 team had no actual new ideas, and were running themselves dry in a franchise that already ran its course by the first outing. And yet they wanted to rush to the finish line so they could stop working on this thing. This shit was cringy, unfunny, cheap-looking, obnoxious, pointless, unengaging, and not to mention broken, like my roof. And speaking of which...
Damn, is this a lore connection to the last episode of the Funny Dumbsville channel?
Stop changing the topic, I need you to...
Well, bye.
You didn't even pay for my roof!
Fuck you in the lanes you came with. Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch, nah. Throw that shit in fifth, rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star, I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue honeys, I'm too money. Ay, and my little bitch, she too lovely. Yeah, hanging up and calling me right back. Ay, baby, why you calling me like that? Yeah, getting high with the seat, lay back. Baby, gon' relax, yeah. Hey, they don't know the half, yeah. No matter what happened, I got your back. Baby, that's the facts, yeah. That's the facts, yeah. Yeah, we can fight, but the feeling's gone. I try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn. Hey, laying outside in the summer sun. Yeah, we can fight, but the feeling's gone. I try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn. Hey, baby, facts, yeah.
These nuts. These? Deets nuts. Deets Watson. Deets nuts. Deets nuts aren't nuts. Meat nuts. Those are meat nuts. Meat nuts. They're Deets nuts. I have a handful of Deets nuts. Hey, Chris. How Deets nuts taste? Are they delicious? What a fun snack. Deets and Watson. Deets nuts.